Hello everybody, and welcome to another tipping video. On this channel it is time for round 6, and as usual, let's have a look at last week's tips. On ESPN, I got 6 out of 9, or in this competition 12 out of 9, because it was a joke round, double points. But I'm a little bit frustrated because I should have 7 out of 9 for the round. Which would have been like the average score pretty much for the round. It was a fairly easy tipping round because I accidentally tipped pies on ESPN, and as you can see here on the AFL tipping site, I did not accidentally tip pies, and therefore I have I did get 7 out of 9. In the last two games got wrong. Probably should have tipped 3 around that one. In that one, oh, didn't really see that coming. But yeah, so that's a little bit frustrating, but whatever, we move on. I was never gonna probably win anything anyway, so I'm still doing pretty average in the tips, honestly. I should have, yeah. So let's just get on with the tips this week. Starting off Friday night. There's no Thursday night game this week. GWS versus St Kilda, and my dog is barking in the background. St Kilda by 26. I see them as a better side than GWS right now, and it is in Canberra, so possibility of an upset here for sure. But I can't really see GWS getting over the line here. St Kilda, they've put together a great patch of form. They are in the top 4 currently, 4-1, won the last 4. GWS, their one win came against the pretty lowly Suns, who played worse than they normally do at the start of the season. So GWS, they do have Toby Green back, but I just can't see them getting over the line. Second game, this is another one with a bit of upset potential. Western Bulldogs versus Adelaide. You got to go the safer tip here and tip the Bulldogs. But I wouldn't be surprised if Adelaide made this one pretty close. Tex Walker is back and he's in pretty good form. This Adelaide team, like, they're young, but they never give up, and that's what seems to be impressing Crows fans the most. They don't fade away late in games. They stick to their game plan. They try. Don't always get the result, but yeah. So good sign for Crows fans. And now we've got the a real blockbuster right here, 16th versus 18th on the ladder. It's at Adelaide Oval. Port Adelaide, they're still winless, looking for their first win. I think they should get it against West Coast. If they don't beat West Coast, I don't know what's going on there. I'll tip them by 32 points. Sorry. It's at Adelaide Oval. I think they should get Wines back. But then again, West Coast also get McGovern back. But West Coast are complete shambles right now. If they don't beat West Coast, then something's seriously wrong there. Now to perhaps one of the most intriguing matchups of the round. Fremantle versus Carlton at Optus Stadium. Over the last few years, these teams have had a bit of a rivalry because somehow Carlton always managed to break Fremantle hearts. Obviously, I think Carlton have won like the last 4, 2 of them by like under a goal. Mark Murphy 1 year kicked the match winner with 30 seconds to go, and then of course there was Jack Nunes after the siren tied up on the boundary line in 2020. So bit of a rivalry here. At Optus Stadium, I rate Fremantle slightly more than I do Carlton right now, so I think I'm gonna go with the safer tip here. I'm gonna tip Fremantle to get it done by 8 points in a bit of a high-scoring match. North Melbourne versus Geelong up next. North Melbourne, they've been probably the worst side of the comp, arguably. Port, bottom of the ladder, winless, but North Melbourne, they really haven't shown much this year. They had one good performance against Sydney where they took it up to them and almost stole a massive upset win, but they've also been smashed a couple of times, beaten by over 100, beaten by 68 on Good Friday, lost to the Hawks in round 1 in the game where the Hawks weren't even that good. Yeah, against the Cats will want to bounce back after a disappointing Easter Monday loss to the Hawks. Hawks just were the better team on the day. They took the most of their opportunities, which is something the Cats didn't. Cats should probably win this one pretty comfortably. I'm going to go Cats by 47. It is at Blundstone Arena, where North Melbourne can show up to play sometimes, but I just don't see them really challenging this game. Now time for the Q Clash. Gold Coast versus Brisbane. This should be a pretty one-sided affair. The first 5 or so rounds, Gold Coast normally play okay, but Brisbane, they are clearly the better side. They're third on the ladder. I'd rate them as probably the second best team in the comp, behind, of course, Melbourne. Gold Coast, pretty up and down. They could pull pretty out there upset, I guess, but I can't see it happening. Brisbane should win this one pretty comfortably. I'll go Brisbane by 63. Now for the Anzac Day Eve annual clash. Richmond taking on Melbourne. Richmond, the most inconsistent team in the comp. Their form line is loss, win, loss, win, loss. Pretty much at the moment. They seem to be able to win at home, but not away. This is a home match for them, so that plays into their advantage, I guess. But Melbourne, they're just too good. They're just too good. I have to tip them. I'll go Melbourne by 17 in a bit of a closer once, but you can't go past Melbourne. They're just too good right now for everyone, really. They've won their last 12 matches, including the first 5 of this year, and all in the final series and leading up to that last year. They really are an incredible footy team right now. Now, on to the Monday matches, which there are a couple of. For some reason, there's 2 Monday matches. I don't really know why, but Hawthorn versus Sydney. This is a bit of a tough one to tip because it's at UTAS in Tasmania. It is a bit of a tough one to tip because quite often you find with Sydney Hawks games, it's the team you don't expect to win that gets up. And most people would expect Sydney to win right now. And it is at UTAS Stadium, so, you know, that increases the possibility for an upset. I'm actually going to tip the Hawks here. I'm going against my team. It's my most loved team versus my most hated team, and I'm tipping the Hawks. Really, there's not a whole lot of logic behind this other than it's in Tasmania, but still, you think Sydney should get up, but whatever, I don't care. I'm tipping the Hawks in a thriller at UTAS. Not a whole lot of logic behind this. A bit of a superstitious tip, because I feel like it's going to be one of those games where if I tip us, we lose, and if I tip the other team, we win. So it's a bit of superstition here, but I don't know. I probably should be tipping Sydney, but I don't care. I'm not going to. And the final game of the round now, the annual Anzac Day clash between Essendon and Collingwood. Collingwood should win this comfortably, but it is Anzac Day, so I'll make it a bit of a closer one. But Collingwood, they've lost the last three, but they're still comfortably a better footy team than what Essendon are right now. Essendon are in complete shambles. 1-4. Their one win came by 4 points against Adelaide. They're conceding the most points against out of any team in the competition. So far, the least amount of points they've conceded in a game is 97. That really speaks volumes to how poor their defence is. Yeah, Collingwood. Actually, Collingwood probably. If Collingwood win, it'll probably be a high-scoring match. I'll go whatever. Yeah, like that, I guess. Yeah, Collingwood win the Anzac Day match, and that is round 6 done. Let's take a look at the ladder. Melbourne still on top, undefeated. Port Adelaide move up a few rankings. If they do indeed win, which they should win. 1-5. North Melbourne now on the bottom, makes sense. They've been pretty poor. Sydney still in 5th, despite losing that game. I mean, we're favourites to win, and I think we probably will. It's a tough one to tip. Freo in 3rd. Brisbane move up to 2nd. Collingwood not quite in the 8. Actually, the 8 hasn't changed as far as who slipped in and out. It's just the positions. Hawthorn and Carlton did a slight swap there. Geelong. Yeah. Actually, the top 8's pretty much the same, and the bottom 10 moved around a little bit, but not a whole lot. Melbourne's Western Bulldogs still not in the 8. Funny. GWS down at 16th. Yeah, they've had a really poor start. And let's just go on to their ESPN tips to make sure I tipped correctly. I don't want to have another week. Because, yeah, you can see I have 27 on ESPN, 28 on AFL. Tip St Kilda, yep. Bulldogs, Port, Fremantle, Geelong, Brisbane, Melbourne, Hawthorn, Collingwood. So Hawthorn's my upset of the week. Hope it doesn't happen. I would prefer it not happen. If I get 8 out of 9, and that's the one tip I get wrong, I would not mind that at all. But yeah, that's round 6 tipping. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Leave your tips in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.